Chapter 12. Sarah. Saturday morning, I wake up with dark circles under my eyes that look more like craters than shadows. I got very little sleep last night as my mind kept replaying the noise at the office over and over again, interrupted only by the question of whether I'd left the front door unlocked or Janice had. All of this had led to nightmares and tossing and turning. My sheets look like I wrestled an alligator in them, and my body feels like I lost. I turn on the shower, hoping the hot water will take away the aches and invigorate me, but even when it's done, I still feel less than human. I pull on a pair of sweats and my favorite lounge t-shirt and head to the kitchen for coffee. Before I have a chance to start the pot, a knock sounds at my door. I glance at my watch and sigh. It's early, but not unacceptably early. My mother always used to say, "We don't call or knock on people's doors after 9 p.m. or before 9 a.m. Telemarketers must never have gotten that training, unfortunately, as I've had several call me before 9. But I don't have that excuse this morning anyway, as it's already almost 10. As I walk to the door, I realize I should have checked my phone first. What if it's JD showing up to make sure I'm okay? I certainly can't open the door looking like this. On the other hand, if we're going to have a future, he'll see me like this at some point. And maybe he can console me and reassure me that everything is okay. I look through the peephole and sag with relief when I see Janice. She stands on my doorway with coffees in one hand and a bag that I'm almost certain holds a fritter in the other. "To what do I owe this surprise?" I ask her as I open the door. "What? Friends can't show up with coffee and donuts for no reason?" I chuckle and step back to allow her to enter. "Of course they can, but you normally don't." A look of chagrin crosses her face at my emphasis. "I always mean to, but weekends generally get away from me. Regardless, this is my thank you for saving me last night." She shuts the front door and follows me to the kitchen. "By the way, are you okay? Because, no offense, but you look like death warmed over." "Thanks," I say wryly. "I'm fine. I just didn't sleep well, and you don't need to thank me for last night. It's my job." But I don't mind the coffee. I can tell from the first sip that it's better than what I make at home. "I know, but I cut your dinner short, and then I felt even worse when you told me about the cute guy. If I hadn't called you out early, maybe you would have gotten his number." She opens the bag and, using a napkin, reaches in and pulls out a fritter, handing it to me. "It's blueberry, so I hope you don't mind trying something new." I never mind trying something new. Apple fritters are good, but they get old after a while. However, I love trying berry ones when I can find them. "And you don't need to worry about the guy. I'll probably never see him again, and I don't really have time to date." "Yes, you do, and you should. You've got the company running smoothly, and I can help with anything that comes up while you're gone." I study Janice's face. Is that eagerness I see in her features? Does she want me to be out at the office for some reason? Is she trying to take over? I shake my head to clear the thoughts. What is wrong with me? Janice is my best friend. She just wants the best for me. "I'll think about it, but you need time off too." "No, I don't," she says, taking a bite of her donut. "At least not while Dan is still traveling. Maybe I'll take you up on that offer when he's got a few weeks at home." "Any word on when he'll be home?" She shrugs. "I don't know. He said maybe he'd have things wrapped up by midweek, but I'm not holding my breath." Her frustration is evident in her dismissive tone. And I think about broaching the topic of her moving on again, but before I can say anything, she changes the conversation. Hey, what do you think about trying that new wine bar, Wind Down, tonight? I'm really hoping to meet up with JD at some point tonight, but I don't want to tell Janice that. And surely I'll have time to do it after the drink with Janice. At least as long as I only have one with her. I'm always up for a glass of wine. Good, I was hoping you'd be. I also got you an appointment at the spa for today. Massage, facial, and mud bath. What do you think? I think that sounds amazing. But how did you book something so quickly? My body is telling me to stop asking questions, that a spa day will help me relax and feel even better with JD tonight. But my head has questions. Why is she booking me a spa day? She's not my assistant. I don't even have an assistant. So is this more thanks for last night, or is there some ulterior motive? Janice grins and shakes her head. I cannot reveal my sources, but they're expecting you at noon. And what about you? I can't today. I have to run a few errands, but please enjoy. She checks her watch and stands. In fact, I should get going. I walk her to the door and wave goodbye, but when she drives away, I can't help thinking about my questions. What errands does she have? And why would she book me a spa day and not herself? My first thought goes to Claire's suicide, but if this is about recovering from that, then Janice is in as much need as I am. Does she know? No, she couldn't possibly. I've been careful. This has to just be Janice being thoughtful Janice. But though I appreciate her kindness, I can't shake the thought from my mind that her motive isn't entirely altruistic. Pushing the thoughts to the side, I busy myself for a few hours and then head out for the spa. As I step out the front door, I glance around as if I expect the phantom car I didn't see last night to be parked out front. Nothing appears amiss, though it is unlikely I would notice if anything was off, considering that I didn't start paying attention to my surroundings until last night. I'm going to have to get better at that. But as everything seems copacetic, I continue to my car. Once inside, though, the hairs on the back of my neck begin to tingle and lift as I pull out of my drive. I scan the area quickly, but don't see anyone in the rearview mirror or watching me from the sidewalk. Still, I keep my eyes peeled the entire drive to the spa. A modicum of relief covers me when I pull into the parking lot of the spa unharmed. I step out of the car, pause, and look around. No one jumps out at me, but the feeling of someone's gaze locked on me does not fade. Tucking my purse closer to my side, I lock the door and hurry inside. Hello, do you have an appointment? The woman asks when I step up to the desk. I do. Sarah Palmer? As the woman turns to her computer, I glance out the door. But there's no one in the parking lot. It must be a lingering feeling from last night's nightmares. Yes, here you are. We'll start with the massage. I follow her to the massage room, undress, and climb on the table. But as I lay there, I can't help but think how vulnerable I am at this moment. Thankfully, the masseuse enters a moment later, and as he begins to knead my tight muscles, I feel my stress slipping away. By the time I'm done with the facial, I've almost forgotten about the feeling of being watched. And when I emerge from the mud bath, I feel like a new person. I head over to the wine bar, and though I'm a little early, I go ahead and order a drink and take it to a table at the back of the room. As soon as I sit down, my phone vibrates, and I open the screen to a message from Janice. Janice. Not going to be able to make it tonight, but have a drink for me." I hope she's okay. It's unlike Janice to cancel. I'm about to respond to her when I get a better idea and click over to JD's name. Sarah, fancy a meetup? I've just hit send when a shadow falls on my table and JD asks, "Is this seat taken?" "What are you doing here?" I ask quietly, as my eyes dart around the room for anyone who might recognize me. "Should I be worried that you're following me?" He smiles, that dimple in his cheek standing out like a beacon. "Not at all. I was finishing up some work and fancied a drink. This place was nearby, and I thought it would be rude not to say hello when I saw you. Besides, you just texted me." He holds his phone out as evidence. "Is that going to be our story?" I ask, a teasing lilt in my tone. "Why not? Can't two friends who happen to come to the same bar share a drink?" He pulls out the chair across from me and sits down. "What are you doing here by yourself anyway?" "I was supposed to be meeting Janice," I say slowly, watching his face for his reaction. "But she canceled on me." "Ah, perhaps it would be better if we met up somewhere else. Your place in 15 minutes? "Absolutely." I finish the last of my drink and stand up. "I'll see you there." As nonchalantly as possible, I exit the bar and head to my car, glancing around as I do. When I reach my car, I shoot off a text to Janice, telling her not to worry and thanking her again for the spa day, and then I head home. I'm almost at my door when the sound of crunching leaves behind me causes me to freeze. I spin around and peer into the shadows, but the only thing I see is my neighbor across the street, lugging his recycling bin out to the curb. When he sees me watching, he lifts a hand in a wave, and I return it before entering my house. I have got to stop jumping at every little sound, but I'm not sure how. After dropping my keys and purse, I head to the kitchen and pour 2 glasses of wine. A few sips of mine slows my heart rate enough that when the knock comes, I don't bother to check the peephole first. JD smiles at me from the other side of the door. "Did you start without me?" he asks, nodding at the wine glass in my hand. I motion him in and then close the door behind him. I needed to calm down. I thought someone was following me. "You mean other than me?" His eyes twinkle as he pulls me in for a kiss. I push back from him before his lips can meet mine, because I know when they do, this conversation will be lost. "This is serious. Last night, I got called out to help Janice with something at work. When I got ready to leave, I felt like someone was there. I felt it all day today, too." His smile falters. "Okay, let's talk about it. Do you think anyone knows?" I shake my head as I head toward the kitchen to give him his glass of wine. "I don't think so. No one has said anything, and no one seems to be acting differently." He takes a sip as he considers the predicament. "Do you think they could know and just not be letting on that they do?" "I don't know, but what do I do? Do I make a statement first so it doesn't seem like we're hiding things? Do I wait and see if someone comes forward?" He pulls me close and sighs in my hair. "I don't know, but we'll figure it out." Though his arms ease the fear a bit, I know I can't stay in them forever. I'm going to have to figure out who's following me and what they know.